Imposter syndrome. It's not what you think you are that holds you back, but what you think you aren't. Now, who said that? Motivational speaker Dennis Waitley. According to a study, at least 70% of people will feel at least one episode of imposter syndrome in their lifetime. And this ranges from CEOs to students. No one is immune to it. So let's define imposter syndrome real quick. Imposter syndrome is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. So where does this whole imposter syndrome thing originate from? Well, back in the 1970s, two doctors noticed that people felt like they were pretending to be smart when they actually were smart. On the personal tip, this is how I was dealing with imposter syndrome. So I was reading a lot of different things, watching different videos, but just never taking action on anything that I was taking in. So it was hard for me to talk about different topics and subjects because I just read about it, but I haven't actually experienced it. So in relation to that, it could be, for instance, me going to the gym. Recently, I lost 44 pounds from consistent diet and exercise and going to the gym just to show myself that I could do it. And the results speak for themselves. So now I can openly talk about that with other people without feeling like an imposter, because through little and frequent steps, I proved to myself that I am what I say I am. So that's an example of a personal experience for me. Of course, the story could be a lot longer, but we'll get to the next point though. Did you know that imposter syndrome isn't just about a lack of confidence? It has something to do with the fear of failure or perfectionism.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
In relation to that, if you fear failure, that means you will never get started. For instance, even me recording this video, this will be the first YouTube video on my channel, and it's not gonna be perfect. You just have to get started because you'll get better over time. And so it's all about progress. You take one step forward, then you take the next step and the next step, and you'll get better over time. So let's talk about one of the main reasons people feel imposter syndrome. And one of the main reasons to that is comparison. So we live in a very competitive age. There's a lot to see. You can see more than the average man ever could in today's age based off of cellular devices and technology. And so it's hard to experience these things and not compare yourself to other people, because you'll look at another man's progress and you're looking at his 10 years, not his 1 year. You can't examine from the perspective of looking at what his 10 years is, because he's been working to get that outcome for a long time. He's been working hard on it. So your first year isn't gonna look like his 10th year experience. So you can't fall into that comparison trap. And so with the social media age, this is really what this brings. That's one reason why I deleted a lot of the social media apps off my phone, so I could get focused and start making my own content and take more action rather than watching other people and just always juggling in my head that, oh, this person's so much better than me, why should I start? And that's one of the main hindrances that I've been going through for a while. And just for me telling you that, I hope that helps you out a lot. So we're going to continue to the next point. One of the first steps to overcoming imposter syndrome is recognizing that you have a problem. And you need to write your thoughts out on paper and don't think so much of the future tense. Focus on the action you need to take next, so that way feelings don't get involved. Just think about the action that will lead to the outcome and focus on that. Actionable step number 2, you need to talk about your imposter syndrome problems with other people who have obviously defeated this problem. Like, you need to listen to a lot of different people about their experience in overcoming imposter syndrome. Actionable step number 3, make sure you document every achievement so you can have a long list to see yourself making the progress that you need to make to know that you're getting better. That should help you a lot. Actionable step number 4, seek some mentorship. Like, you need somebody to coach you through this. Maybe you feel like you can't get over this by yourself and you actually need somebody to kind of coach you through this. So that would be actionable step number 4. If it gets down to that point, like, seek out a mentor if you feel like you can't help yourself too much. Actionable step number 5, celebrate every single win you have, because that's what's going to push you to the next one. And you can use that motivation as leverage and keep recharging your battery every time it gets low. You recharge your battery every win you see. So that's actionable step number 5. That about wraps up everything. And as far as talking about imposter syndrome, let's talk about what happens if you don't overcome your imposter syndrome. Who gets to suffer? What are the negatives that are going to happen to you and other people if you don't overcome this thing? How much is it going to stop you from accomplishing if you don't get over this hump? Like, look at what happens if you don't do it. And that will motivate you to be able to do it. So that's going to wrap everything up. Share your imposter syndrome stories in the comments, and let's build a more productive community together. Make sure you like the video and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Avery Affluence out.